Former president and convicted criminal Donald Trump has been fuming after President Joe Biden announced that he will not be running in the 2024 election and throwing his official support behind his vice president, Kamala Harris, for the upcoming nomination. Trump took to his platform
Truth essential.
to write this. It's not over. Tomorrow, Crooked Joe is going to wake up and forget that he dropped out of the race today. Now, wouldn't Trump love that? I mean, his entire campaign has been Joe Biden is old/mentally unfit for office. Well, with Biden out, oh, look who's now the oldest candidate in the race. Interesting. Trump. How the turntables. He's 78 years old. And even before Biden had dropped out, voters were concerned about Trump's age. In fact, on July 11th, an ABC News Washington Post Ipsos survey of 2,431 adults found that about 60% believed the 78-year-old Republican is too old for a second term in office. Wow. They also said that he doesn't have the mental capacity to serve. Obviously, I believe that was true before, but according to an ABC News Washington Post poll taken back in January, 47% of voters nationally said that Trump has the mental sharpness to serve effectively as president, which means a majority either didn't know or they don't believe he did. That's 53%. So, interesting. Now, what mental issues am I talking about here when it comes to Trump? I mean, the fact that he can't stop lying, can't stop exaggerating, and literally just making things up. Yeah, like he can't stop doing either of those things. Constantly slurring his words and going off on random tangents. Yeah, there's some issues there, right? And when he was in office, he wouldn't read his briefings. He would come out with half-cocked ideas, like, for example, asking if he can nuke a hurricane. I'm not kidding. Trump is deeply mentally disturbed. Okay, he's got some problems. In fact, Trump went on to claim that Biden, who continues to get treated for COVID-19 after testing for positive for it on Wednesday, claimed that Biden actually never had it. Oh, COVID-19, yeah, he never had it. Are you kidding me? Really? And further claimed that Biden is a, quote, threat to democracy. I mean, you know, talking about bringing down the temperature here. Obviously, Trump not bringing down the temperature, okay, after the attempt on his life. So, interesting. Now, in fact, here's what Trump said, quote, "Who's running our country right now? It's not Crooked Joe. He has no idea where he is. If he can't run for office, he can't run our country." Actually, he can. Look, running a vigorous political campaign is a lot different than doing the day-to-day job of governing. Trump can campaign all day, but he can't govern worth a crap. And so for Biden, it's the opposite, okay? Biden can govern, not so good with the day-to-day campaign, okay? My whole issue with Biden, for example, and why I actually supported the push to replace him is that I was worried that he can't beat Trump in an election. Okay, and I hate to say it, but elections in this country are largely driven by optics, debates, speeches, campaigning. People want to hear what you're going to do if you get elected. They need to see you and hear you on the campaign trail. They need you to make your case. Look, you can be a model statesman, all right? But if you can't get out your message coherently and forcefully, you're going to have a harder time winning. That's just the reality. So back to Trump. He's raging about this because now his entire campaign has to go and reset to go after Harris. Plus, it kind of pushes him out of the news cycle after someone nearly killed him, and he was fundraising off that and getting all sorts of sympathy points. But now, oh, look, the attention is no longer on him. Now it's on VP Harris. And so, of course, with her, he and his campaign and his allies are going to dig deep into the well of racism and misogyny. In fact, one Trump ally had previously referred to Harris as nothing more than a DEI pick. which just is DEI is basically anything that's related to somebody being black. Speaking of Trump allies, by the way, some of them had some pretty visible meltdowns. Let's start with Stephen Miller.
They held a primary. People, they had ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on advertisements. And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden. Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the entire primary. We're getting rid of our candidate, and we're pretending the election has never even happened, and we're going to let donors handpick a new nominee.
Oh, fascist has us sad. Look, this entire Republican primary, yeah, the donors also ended up picking Donald Trump. So, I mean, he ran essentially unopposed, okay? but oh no, we care so much about democracy over here in the Republican Party. Bro, you are literally the party that tried to overturn the results of a legitimate election in 2020. Get out of here with that. Now, look, to be fair though, Democrats actually didn't have a primary process. Not really, not this time. Oh, no. In fact, several states had canceled their primaries and just helped Joe Biden along. And look, there's criticism and of the Democratic Party, people knowing about Biden, and his struggles beforehand, and just pushing him along. And so, look, if you want to blame anybody for getting us to this point, well, yeah, you can blame Democratic Party officials for not, allowing for there to be a robust primary process and trying to rush to coronate Joe Biden for a second term. Okay. And look, there were no big names that challenged Joe Biden in its Democratic primary as well. Yes, sure, you had Marianne Williamson and Dean Phillips that ran against him, but again, none of the establishment would entertain much of a primary, okay? And so they basically cleared the field for Biden. But anyway, I find it very ironic that Stephen Miller is pretending to care about having a democratic process. All right. Okay, buddy. Sure. All right. No, I think, though, my favorite reaction here is another post from Trump whining about how he should be reimbursed for spending money campaigning against Biden. In fact, he said, quote, "So we are forced to spend time and money on fighting crooked Joe Biden. He pulls so badly. After having a terrible debate, quits the race. Now we have to start all over again. Shouldn't the Republican Party be reimbursed for fraud and that everybody around Joe, including his doctors and the fake news media, knew he was not capable of running for or being president? Just asking." Really? Look, here's the thing, though, right? The Biden campaign actually outspent Trump 6-1 in June. In fact, I think that's probably part of the reason, if not most of the reason, that Biden dropped out. He was spending money 6-1 compared to Trump, and still, in a lot of battleground states, losing to Trump. So it's had literally no effects. Okay, now the Biden campaign ended June with just shy of $96 million in the bank, while Trump's campaign reported $128 million left in its campaign account. It spent $10 million to Biden's $60 million, and most of that for Trump spending is on direct mail. So I think he's mad that he might actually have to start spending money on campaigning. So he's mad that he's actually going to have to run a race against somebody who can speak in full sentences, unlike him, and actually makes sense too, as well as challenging him and his VP on one of his weakest spots, which happens to be reproductive rights. So, look, we got a campaign now. we got a race, and Trump, let's just say, is not too happy about it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down. You can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.